Recently, during the Brushes and Beyond workshop we created these value strips, and I'm going to show you how to use them. And we're going to use them in drawing depth in mountains. Not necessarily perfect mountains, although we're going to work on that. But we're going to create depth, and we're going to do that by using the value strip. So let's get started. We're going to do mountains. So I am starting off with a 4H, a very hard pencil that will give a very light line. So we're going to basically just draw in some mountains. Okay, so there's our first one. And I hope that you can see that. Now I'm going to come in here a little lower and there. Now we need to get out those areas where they crossed. Okay, so this is in front of that, so this has to come out. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take a little heavier pencil. Oh, that's a little too much. I can't really tell if that's a 5 or a 6B. It's still too much, but okay. So now we're going to come in here, and we're going to come back and start up here. And come up. And go back down. So now we have 3 layers, and so this line has to come out. I'm trying not to push too hard so I don't jerk the camera. Okay, so now let's see, we're going to come in here like this. We're going to come up to here and down and back up. Okay, so all of this has to come out, and this has to come out. Yeah, I'm shaking the camera. Sorry. Okay, so now we have some layers here. So we're going to go back to our 4H pencil, and we're going to come in here. Okay, I'm just going to cover the whole section of mountains going in the same direction in this back area, because I don't want too much detail back here. I just want a little bit of color, something to say something's back there. I'm really on the side of the pencil as much as I can be. Okay, so now let's get out our value strip. And that value is right in here. Okay, so now my next value needs to be somewhere in that area. Okay, so let's see what we can do. So that was a 4H. This is an HB, which puts us right in the middle between hard and soft. So let's see what we can get with that. And we're going to start here, and we're going to go in a different direction. Let's go up and down. Now we're going to look. Okay, so if this is right here in this value needs to be somewhere in here. And I think we've got that. We might be a little darker, but a little darker is not a bad thing. So we're going to come in here and do this whole section of mountains going up and down. And we're only doing that to create more of a distance between this and this, okay? Coming over here, and this part over here is part of this range, this value. Okay, so we have two values here. So now, and that was an HB. We went from a 4H to an HB. So let's see, here is a 3B. And if we are here in this value, then we need to be somewhere in here for the next value. And the next value is here, this one, and this one. Okay, so we've gone this way and we've gone up and down. So now we're going to go this way. This pencil is not sharp enough. Always go away from you a little at a time. So we're going to go this way. Okay, so you can tell that this value is at least 2 grades deeper than this over here. You'll really be able to tell when we get right next to it. So because they're going in different directions, and because I'm using heavier pencils, softer pencils, and the pressure, now you can see the difference between this one, and this one. Now, if I were trying to actually paint mountains and not just value perspective, I would come in here in different areas and maybe bring in a little something like this to give it, see just what that little bit does. It creates that ruggedness of the mountains. Of course, you know, going in the different direction with a heavier pencil will make a big difference in your drawing. So get to know your tools, play around with them, just like in the paint. Figure out what works. And the rule still goes that back here, there would be very little detail. This one here would have a little more detail. This one would have much more detail. And the closest one will have a ton of detail. It'll be brighter. It'll have more detail. And it will be larger. It'll be warmer. So over here is this one. We need to get the angle going well. This is a really good exercise for you, for me, to better understand values and what it gets us. Well, now you can start to see what the values and values are. Okay, Okay, so now we have three values. We have this, and we have this one. Okay, so here we have this value somewhere in there. This one here is somewhere in here. Okay, so now we're going to get out a heavier pencil. Okay, so now we have our darkest mountain coming forward here. So this one needs to be dark, okay? So I've got a 5B. And I think I'm gonna go back to the angled going in this direction. That part that you're seeing right there, that's where my table comes together. Let's move the paper over. And if you want to get some darker than what you can get with your pencil, cross hatching is a great way to get it. And by that I mean going this way and then this way. And as the mountains come forward, you're gonna see a lot of rough edges. Trying to get it darker. I might have to pull out. This one is so short, I can barely hold on to it, but it is a much darker pencil. Right up next to that, how that's going to help. Okay, so here we could add in like some very craggy edges. Here we have four values in our mountains. Farthest away, back in here. The next layer is in here. Third value's in here, and this is our final value. So you can see how this can really help you as far as knowing what needs to come next. And that's the whole point of this, is to understand how to create values that will create depth and perspective.